Hello, folks. How we doing? It's the countdown to kick-off show. I'm just before we get into it, apologies for the delay. We had a few technical issues today, and there's numerous things happened. You wouldn't believe it for a Saturday morning. But we're in. We've got it. Kev and I, we've got it sorted. We're here. We managed to get the show done before the kick-off. Kev, how you doing, mate?
I'm all good, mate. All good. Raring to go for this one. Back to normal. Back to the day job.
Yeah, no, back to the job, exactly. Just before we get into it as well, just to like to say this sponsored by, this show is sponsored by Manscaped. All details for this in the link below as well. And yeah, I'm in the process of ordering some more Manscaped stuff as well, so I would recommend it. But yeah, on past that, right into the game. The squads are out, Kev. Straight away, what's your initial thoughts on Liverpool's lineup?
The only thing I was surprised with was Naby because of the volume of games he's been playing on international duty. But in fairness, it just looks like he's prioritised this game and no rest for Virgil either. So it's flat out for this game. No risk, or he's taking a few gambles with the volume of games that some of these players have played over the last 2 weeks. So he must see this as a must win and dismiss, the last two performances, the last two draws, just get back to winning ways and put a marker down for this block of fixtures coming up.
No, absolutely. But what I would say as well, some of the comments, just kind of, not elephant in the room's the wrong word, but one, I think you already kind of thought about this, Kev, was regarding Ox and the fact that he's not been picked to start today. A lot of people are kind of saying it's the end of the road for Ox, and Kane's even got the nod ahead of him.
Yeah, look, I think people are putting 2 + 2 = 5 because Naby is ahead of Ox anyway. Volume of games or not, Naby is ahead of him, especially if Naby's playing on that left-hand side of the three. Ox has never played there, and Henderson doesn't look right playing there. So
really good point, Kev, because even Ox's best games have been on the right.
Been on the right of the three. Yeah. So I wouldn't read. I think everyone is trying to come up with games to fit Ox in. But when he's been selected, he hasn't put his hand up himself. So, I mean, he's got to be eyeing the Preston game to put a performance in that, to put himself in the position to argue for games in the last half of this block of 7.
So yeah, Gar Jericho is just kind of emphasising the previous question as well. Thanks for the comments. Just get any comments and questions in as well, but towards the lineups, folks. But
I think his career could be over, or on the wane. I mean, look, he hasn't
at Liverpool. Do you think? Or do you think
I think he needs
and be quite successful.
Yeah, I think he'll be successful somewhere else. I think he needs a move. I think you give him 30 games regular football, and you'll get a good solid Oxlade-Chamberlain playing for you, and it wouldn't surprise me if him, Lingard, and a few others find their way up to Geordieland. It won't be in January, but I think he'd be one of those type of signings that could kick them on.
Maybe. Do you know what I would say, Kev? See what Ox is. I've said this before. See, like a comparison, even though they're not the same position, like players at all. But see, Ings when he was at Liverpool, I always remember thinking Ings is a prime example of someone who just needs games. And what I mean by that is, see, like a Minamino can play a game against Norwich and actually look quite good in different spells and different one-off games, like with not playing for a while. Ox, to me, is not one of those players, even though, ironically, he used to be an impact player. But now it seems to me that, I think it might have been yourself last night, Kev, or Red Steve, who said that he's actually trying too hard to impress, and it's a detriment to his game. I feel like, similar to Ings, he just needs to get games under his belt, and I still think there's a good player there. I could actually see him going to Southampton, mate. I could see him going back to Southampton.
Well, that's where he started. Maybe he wants to move back down south, new family and what have you, who knows. But for the sake of his career, and he's at the stage now, look, I mean, he's never going to want to play. He never needs to play for money, but he will want to play for, this is what I did. He's won trophies. He's earned his crust. I think he needs to be going playing. But the problem comes when we have to replace him with a homegrown player. But that's a chat for another show.
Yeah, not got enough time to get in that one. But RJ Moon says the last time I saw Ox start and he was non-existent on the pitch. Curtis Jones is much better, and even Kay Gordon deserves a start. I think that kind of does add into it. What I would say with Ox is I don't judge him on those performances because in my head already I know that just he used to be so good at being an impact, but for me now it's like I don't know if it's overthinking, but let's be honest, the guy can play an 8-yard pass. It's not hard for him, but see when he comes on, he seems to be just like trying so hard to impress that he gets the basics wrong.
Yeah, and that's confidence. And
100%.
you know, he's thinking, look, if I do something special, I'll get a selection for the next game. I don't think Klopp works like that. I'm pretty certain, barring injuries and suspensions, Klopp has got his first 11 picked in his head for the next 4 games.
Ali just kind of adds to that. I had enough of sitting on the bench and doesn't perform. Fair enough, Ali. To me, I do think there's certain players you say confidence in a run of games, and I just think it's obvious with Ox that that's what he needs. And I don't think he's done in the Premier League. I do think, say similar to Ings, he will go somewhere and do well.
I see a lot of Lingard. I see a lot of Lingard in him. With Lingard when he went to West Ham, Lingard was stagnant at Man United, and his career had completely stalled. You know, a good player who never fulfilled his potential. Ox's post-injury is at that stage now. A good player who, bar injury, should have kicked on, and he just hasn't. And we're in the Lallana boat where the squad is passing him by, and it's a shame, but it is what it is.
No, it is a shame. Listen, and I have said this before, Kev. I do think, listen, there shouldn't be always sentiment, but there is definitely sentiment towards Ox from Klopp because of the injuries. And I feel like people are saying we need to be ruthless, but I think when you've got a manager like Jurgen Klopp, he is ruthless at times, but I think he does find it hard with Oxlade-Chamberlain because of the 2 injuries he's had. I feel like he gave him a bit more of a chance than others. Would you agree with that,
Yeah,
Kev?
I think so. He's tried to get him back to something like match fitness, but the problem you have is when you talked about Danny Ings earlier needing a run of games. If you're challenging for a title and your rival is capable of posting 95 points, you don't have the luxury of betting in a player to get him match fit. So you're stuck where you are. Chamberlain is in that boat now where we don't have the luxury of betting him in. And the way I see it, I think...
and that's kind of the way it's going now. And I know we say it's not going to be a 90-point season again, Kev, but to be honest, we've got Chelsea in the running as well now. So it's just like every year, it's just... And to be honest, it's never going to be the case. But you know what? I hope it really works out for Ox. You know, even Lallana and Ings have left, and they've done reasonable.
I think Lallana's done really well for Brighton.
He actually has. He's such a good footballer, Lallana, isn't he? Such technically a good footballer, so it works great for him. If you hear the jingles, that's maybe Watts in the room. By the way, that's the cat. That's the reindeers outside.
That cat definitely needs its own Insta account.
I know. But listen, good shout with Jordy T there. Ox is at Brighton, West Ham, or Aston Villa. That's decent shout as well. To be fair, he probably
there will be clubs out there. Yeah, there's going to be clubs out there that are perfectly willing to take a gamble on him at 15, 18, 20 million. No problem, because he's got years ahead of him.
See also on Brighton, Vase of Flowers has just said Brighton are doing really well. See, what I'd like to add to Brighton is, see when you can also get players like Lallana or who maybe Welbeck, who are seen as not past it, but kind of past that. If you can get them to perform for you as well, that's such a good trait for someone like a Potter as well, because there will always be ones like that, as well as getting the is it Cucurella and who's doing really well.
I think
he's got a good balance. Good balance, Potter. Yeah. I know we go on about Potter all the time, but I just thought I'd add that. The guy, I'm always impressed by him. By him. You know what? It's just very impressive. But we'll get onto the team as well, Kev. That was good we chat about Ox. We'll take a wee break segment and talk about Watford. I know you've seen their lineup today.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're surprised by? You told me the team, but what's their shape? Is it 4-4-2 or is it 4-5-1?
It could be. I think... If I just looked on Google, I don't know Watford well enough to be able to say, this is exactly how they're going to play. But their shape is the way they've got it set up. It looks like 4-4-1-1. You know how Claudio likes to play, and you can throw a blanket over what he did at Leicester. Is 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1, sit back, compact, deep, defend well, clean sheets, hit sides on the break with pace. And Watford have pace. Be it Ismail Assar, Dennis, They've got players with pace and flair, that ability to do something out of nothing. But look, I fully expect to be able to handle anything that Watford are able to throw at us today. Even with that lineup, I still think that lineup, that midfield, is perfectly experienced enough to be able to manage today's game. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be comfortable managing this today. And if we struggle today, I'd be getting a bit nervous because
I do get that, but sometimes these games I think we'll win, Kev. I just think sometimes they're not. It's not smooth sailing with momentum. I think momentum with teams, and I always think the hardest part with these games is if you can control it. I know Gary Neville says it all the time, but like the first 20 minutes to calm the crowd down, that's amazing. Like that does help a lot, and it's just about we're good at that, to be honest. We've maybe not been unbelievable this season, but we are. I think we'll do that today. I think it's going to be one of them, just a professional win. That's the way I see it.
That would suit me fine. I mean, the way I look at this, Watford sacked their manager for a reason, and it's not just like it's the Watford thing. They've not been good. They've struggled in games that they've won. And
some of the tactics have been like I think Jake last night was saying some of the tactics have been a bit like not contradictory a little bit. Like at times, are we going for possession, but we're playing on counter attack, and like there's been times where it's like
been wrong all the way.
They're not sure what their identity is going forward.
Yeah,
or what the aim is.
Yeah, the way I look at Watford, the central two midfielders, you've got a 35-year-old, I think, and a 32-year-old Musa Sissoko. They don't have pace. They don't have pace. They don't have legs. So you should
Sissoko,
be able to
absolutely. He used to be unbelievable. Yeah, I remember the final, the Euros. When they lost. I thought, see if it was that Mr. Sissoko, I'd be like, do you know what? We might have a problem in the sense that he could run around us all day. But
I don't see that with Watford. I think if you were to look at Watford and say, right, they get relegated, we always do it at the end of the season, right? XYZ club are going down. I take him. Watford only have really one player, I think, that's a top 4 club would look at, and that's Ismail Assar.
I've heard good things about that João Pedro as well, but I know he's quite young still, Kev. But
I think he's
right at the moment. Miles away.
He's nowhere near ready for a move. But what I'm saying is, if your ambition is to win a league, challenge for titles, go far in Europe, you have to be dispensing of sides like Watford, and you have to be able to manage those games, to manage players' fitness, manage the crowd, manage the game, and you have to be beating these sides, and there can't be any slip-ups today. They really can't.
No, absolutely, Kev, and I feel like it's last night or 2 nights ago when we were talking, I was like, we've got a bad record, and we don't actually have a bad, so-called bad. The last one we won 3-0. I think it's just the Bogdan game and the 3-0 losses ingrained in my brain that I can't get it away.
There's a lot of clubs like that with us that you think you have a bad record against, like Crystal Palace. You think you have a bad record against them, but then you actually look at it, and the only reason you have a bad record is there's one loss that's seared into your head.
It's probably Burnley's the one where we'll beat them, but it's always a tough game. That's probably quite a true one, but it's like the Palace one. You're right. You do actually. Comfortably is the wrong word, but you've always got the job done. Ironically, Burnley at home is the one that always seems to be you concede or you play poorly. Always that game. It's always a tough one, but. No, it's interesting that it is funny how psychology works with that, Kev.
I think.
So just to ask you on this.
Go on, sorry, go on.
Sorry, Avo further just asking, is Bobby injury due to Jota or due to lack of form of Jota? Just wanted to get your opinion on that.
I think it's just a precaution. And
just precaution.
I think, Bobby's been there for 2 weeks. He didn't go away on duty. So it's only common sense that even if Jota wasn't injured, you'd play Bobby anyway. It's you're not going to have someone at the club for 2 weeks going in, training, doing whatever. Because I bet you the core of the side that's there today, a lot of them would have been in and around the club focusing on today's game. The squad I'm on about, not the first 11. So the likes of Milner and Bobby and Divock and Taki, those players, Ox, they would have been around preparing for the next match. Now, if they're not involved in the first 11, they're involved in the matchday squad. So it's common sense for me that Bobby starts today. And plus the fact he offers you that extra player in midfield to be able to really run him.
Yeah.
To
No,
really boss it.
absolutely. I agree. I think that was you articulated that really well, Kev. To be honest, mate, I think that's. I'm actually looking forward to watch Bobby today. To be honest, I was.
Yeah.
It's
The thing,
yeah,
he's going to have a point to prove with World Cup 12 months away that he's still in the reckoning for Brazil.
yeah.
You know, it's not a case of out of sight, out of mind. He's not been picked now for the last two squads. And that's going to sting, especially when he sees the type of players who are being picked ahead of him. You know, that's going to leave something for him to target, which is all good for us. You know,
Yeah.
if he's got to be in his bonnet about not being picked for Brazil.
Yeah, no, exactly. Just the RNG, great comment. Dear Conroy, can you ever be positive at Liverpool just once? Oh, I don't know, it might be difficult, but I'll try. No, to be fair, this week I think we'll win 2-0 today. I said that. I just think I know I'll go on about it, but I genuinely believe, see, like crowds coming back, momentum and stuff like that, they are things that, to be honest, it's before the watershed, but I was going to swear, but they really annoy me when big teams don't control that. And like, if you're a top team, you need to control that. You don't give them anything. So like, don't give the ball away silly. Just if you can control the game for 80% of possession or whatever, as I know all top teams try to do. That's the thing that annoys me in these games. 12:30, early morning. Even Jake, who was on last night, says some fans aren't even woken up when they're at the game like that. And it's like sometimes I feel like you're giving someone an edge. That's all I'm a bit worried about. I think, as I say, we're professional enough to get the job done today. I don't think it's going to be a 5-0 win. That's all I'm saying.
No, I stuck my neck out and said 4-1 at the beginning of the week when I thought that Curtis would be playing. I thought, that I stuck my neck out and said 4-1. I'll stick with it because I think even though Ranieri is only just come in, he won't have been able to work on them with set pieces. He won't have been able to drill them in the way he wants to play. They're going to be stuck between two ways of playing football. And we have that 11 players know how to play with each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every which way you look at it, that 11 know how to play with each other. They know where they're going to run. They know when someone's got to come short. They know the set pieces. There's no excuses. There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah. No, and listen, Red Steve's always in the chats, always making good comments. So do you know what? For 60 seconds, we'll go for 30 seconds because we need to cover more. But I'll say right now, right, I think one of the best keepers in the world, right? I'm not going to say Robbo, but we've got one of the best left backs in the world. I'm not going to go too much about that because I said that I'm Scottish last night and the comments went for me. Are you Scottish, really? We don't know. No shit. So I know. And Andy Robbo, Van Dijk's still the best centre-back in the world. Matic's probably the most underrated centre-back in the world. I'd stick by that because he's just not fashionable. I think the guy's unbelievable. Trent, is there anyone else like Trent in the world? No. I think is there any right-back at his age who's actually broke the assist record twice and been in the European Team of the Year, a bit like Robertson was as well, UEFA Team of the Year and the Premier League Team of the Year, Young PFA Player of the Year. Unbelievable. Our midfield option of choices as well, going from experienced, aged, young talent, Harvey Elliott-Jones, Thiago included in that. As you talk about experience, Henderson, obviously, what a leader. And then the front three, you've got Jota added to that as well, which, as we just alluded to, Kev, we spoke about Firmino. That'll give Firmino the kick up the backside. It actually is not going to start every game. So we've got some team. So there's 30 seconds, all right? I have got that in the bank.
I never said one word.
Don't wake
about
up
you
and
being
just like
Scottish
throw a
last
dart,
night.
a dart at like every player in the team. I don't do that.
Well,
But
what are people in the people who are in the chat there? What do you guys think for predictive scores and goal scorers?
what do you think is going to happen?
What do you guys think? Throw your scores and
what are
your
you now,
first goal
Kev?
scorers in there.
What are you now? Because I'm 2-0. What are you?
I'm still 4-1. I think
Still 4-1.
I think Virgil gets. I think he carries on from where he was with the Netherlands, and I think he'll target a goal today from what is they're a physical side, but he'll fancy it today. I think Sadio gets to the 100 club, and that's good man, Steve. I think
That's like Crystal Palace last season. that was that early kickoff. Crystal Palace, Kev. Was that early kickoff?
I can't remember.
I think it may have been
early or 3:00 game. It definitely was an out of the ordinary game.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be
shot
surprised.
went in. That was a crazy game.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Virgil, Sadio, Salah, and I wouldn't be surprised seeing Naby Keita on the on the score sheet today. He's had a good break. Apparently, he did okay.
Daddy Pignals, that's mine. That's my prediction. That's the same scorers as well.
Yeah.
Bejan says, Bejan Pops LFC says, we'll love a clean sheet, but we'll take it 3-1.
Fair
That's
shout.
maybe quite a good shout as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it could be like Kev's, but we don't score the fourth goal, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
we miss a few chances towards the end and it ends up 3-1.
Maybe.
But what I would say is, on that, there's just a few comments here. What was it? There's another few. I'm just going to check. 3-1 again is another one. That's the wrong one. There's Laura. Where's Laura Duffy? 3-0 Pool, Salah and VVD. On that, that's 4 people now through streams or comments have said Van Dijk's going to score today.
Yeah,
I feel like there might be something in that. If you like a little fluffer
his
at
goal
the
for
bookies,
Holland,
that's not a bad shot.
His goal for Holland midweek was phenomenal. The cross and the header was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think he's been thereabouts in the last few games. He's been close. And it's with you get the delivery right. Trent gets a delivery right, then yeah, I fancy him today. I really do. I think he's gonna want to get his season starting and get on the score sheet. I just do. I nearly if I had a tenner in my arse pocket, I'd nearly say an anytime score.
Yeah. Obviously not encouraging betting, but I've got a coupon on later, so I think I might put that on. That's some really good shouts in the comments as usual. Brilliant. As I say, he's been superb. Being Kev obviously had issues getting on the day, got it sorted back in, and it's been superb. Just obviously, Kev, we've got to finish about in the next kind of 5 minutes. Anything else you wanted to add about the team? Any surprises who are included or not included?
The only thing that I said, I thought with the volume of games the players have played, I thought Konate or Joe Gomez might have got a nod over Virgil, to be fair. I think Tsimikas could have got in ahead of Robbo.
Yeah, I thought that. I just told you that last night. I thought that.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's because Curtis isn't available that he's decided, no, I'm not taking any risks with today's game. And he's just said, look, no, let's just get this win and we'll see what Atletico brings.
Get the win, get home, forget about it. Get the points,
because I think there's opportunities. You've got our next 3 games today, Atletico Madrid, Man United. And then you've got Preston the following midweek. So there's your break. So I seen that, Jamie, when I was before I was
really good shout, Jamie. Really good comment, mate. Really good.
But you got to look at the teams that he had coming against us. That was when he was at Chelsea. They had a really good run in the league, and we weren't exactly up to much. The Leicester side that won the league were literally set up. They were probably, for me, the most perfect counter-attack.
Yeah, and remember Vardy's goal that game as well. That was unbelievable. He lobs Mignolet from like 20 yards on the volley.
And it was Mignolet, not...
Yeah. To be fair, I remember watching that game and thinking, that's still some goal. Like, sometimes you're like, that's
you got to take your hands off sometimes, but you got to put into context because we're all about the context.
That side is a very good
side. The Liverpool side that we had at the time were we weren't really at it. We were miles off where we wanted to be and where we are today. Claudio, I think he's a jovial character. The media will love him. But this is the same media who were, dilly ding, dilly dong, and all that crap. They were the same media who, when he got fired from Fulham, were sat outside the ground. He's going to get done today. The same
not
stuff
surprising, is it?
Same stuff they're doing to Steve Bruce now, and it's pretty sickening, to be honest.
It is. Just we'll talk about that one we said, Kev, but just Bejan Pops, as usual, everyone in the comments is superb, saying, watching some pre-match chatter, and they're highlighting how good Matip's passing is for breaking the lines. So underrated by those who don't know. Very good shout, Kev. Would you agree? I know, but I feel like it's good. I think the kind of pre-match stuff is highlighting that. Yeah. It's good because I do think he's very underrated at what he does, Matip. From the outside.
I defy anyone to name me a better centre-back quartet anywhere in world football right now. I think Joel Matip is slept on by other fans. He's not slept on by us anymore.
I think he's been slept on it's not just this year. It's like in general for outside. I think he's always been slept on. Even when the run for the Champions League, the start of the Premier League, I thought he was superb.
There are games where more often than not he is like Van Dijk will do the shiny polished work, the slick stuff, but he doesn't get run. Do you know what I mean? He very rarely gets out of position. His reading of the game is phenomenal. You could tell he was an ex holding midfielder. The way he breaks the lines, he's got confidence to take. Every time he takes that ball on one of those mazy runs, I'm sat there, I'm shitting myself. And if he loses this ball here, they're 3-on-3. We're screwed. And I'm like, oh shit.
He's done it that many times now. He's done it that many times.
It's like the parting of the Red Sea.
I know.
Do you know, they're like their midfield. It's Matip, and everyone's like. They're like that. It's big 6'4" Cameroonian with a German accent is running at you.
But do you know what's good about it as well? See the way football's going. Matip's been our best centre half of the season, and St. Very hard to see Matip in the zone. But and Dave's LFC chat. How you doing, Dave? Saying hi, Red. And your dad's just said hi as well.
Hi.
But what I was going to say on that, it's really funny because see the way football's going. You talk about tactics and that, and it's for years. It's not just now about ball playing centre backs, but you do get a bit of space there. Like if he can move into midfield, it does create space, and he's actually very good at it.
Because he looks. Do you know he's like a Peter Crouch. He looks like he's not a foot. He's the kind of
that's
body shape.
That's why I love him.
Yeah.
Kev. I love him.
He has
so
that
much,
kind of body shape. Like you shouldn't be a footballer. You shouldn't be as good as you are. You shouldn't be able to run with the ball the way you do.
But he's just brilliant.
But he just is. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I love him. I absolutely love him. I think he's up there. Him and Jimmy Milner are the two best free signings I think the club have ever seen. But the reason why fans dismissed him, not just our fans, but opposition fans especially, is availability for the last few years. When people would say, like, look, he's made of biscuits, he's this, he's that. At the end of the day, he doesn't have a body that can play 3 games every 7 days constantly. He just doesn't. Yeah. So
we seem to be working it quite well this season's. Touchwood. I still think he'll get injured. I'm not. You know, it's not been idiotic from me, but he's doing well. He's rotated it quite well.
But I don't think it's the one place I don't think his Klopp's actually rotated it enough. I expected Konate and Joe Gomez to have played a lot more by now. You know, the odd game. I didn't expect to see Virgil and Matip playing as a partnership as much as they have. Maybe that's testament to the quality of the league and the value that is put on 3 points. You know, but at the same time,
similar to what you said about Ox earlier, Kev, as well, because I'm not saying you can never take any game for granted in the Premier League, but now it's like you lose 2 games and you're out the title race.
Yeah, it's very delicate balance. You know what I'm saying? No, but it's a very delicate balance.
Yeah.
And I understand where this comment is coming from, because the flip side to what I just said is you do change it and you do what I thought he would do today, is play Konate and Tsimikas. Then you go and you drop 2 points, you only get a draw at Watford, and you're slated for not playing your best 11. Look what...
Then you start questioning yourself, should I played that?
Yeah. Look what happened with Ole Solskjaer, and Ole made the right call, not playing Ronaldo, and he got slaughtered for it because they didn't get a result. It was the right call. Ronaldo's 36. He doesn't do a lick off the ball as it is. He can't play the volume of games that United fans seem to think he can. Ole made the right decision, and he got slaughtered for it. We have to be very careful that when he does change it, if it doesn't work, there's a reason he changed it in the first place, and not just jump on the bandwagon that's very easy to climb onto and climb onto Klopp when he makes a decision that doesn't work. More often than not, his decisions are right, or they're done for a reason. They're not just willy-nilly and done on sentiment.
Yeah, I mean, Red Steve just adding Matip and Gomez only rotated when they got injured, and I think there's a bit of that. He has played Konate sparingly this season. Just that kind of reinforces what Kev was saying. Really good comment, Red Steve, and the comments have been absolutely superb as usual today, guys. Brilliant. But listen, I'm looking at the time, and I know I just had a glimpse in
it there as well. I thought,
but I tell you what, it's been thoroughly enjoyable that, and really good. And listen, everyone in the comment. Anything else you want to add, Kev, before we go, mate?
No, all good, mate. I just want to go and get the kettle on now, stick a coffee on, and sit down and enjoy 90 minutes of Liverpool being back.
Let's get the win today, folks. Everyone in the comments, unbelievable, outstanding, and listen, I think we can get it. We just have to get through with it, get professionally done today. Hopefully, as Red Steve, we get a 6-0 win. That would be outstanding.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
But if you've not as well, guys, just a quick one, because I know we need to go. Like and subscribe to the Daytrippers channel. Sienna Steps, just the link will be in there under the videos as well for that. It's been unbelievable raising this week. That's been in a few videos.
Nearly there. We're getting close now.
Very, very close. So check that out. But everyone, enjoy the game. And from me and Kev, take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.